My name is Mrs. Ibe Angela, your civic education teacher, and today we'll be looking at the topic human rights. And at the end of today's lesson, you are expected to mention the categories of human rights, state the examples of each category of human rights mentioned above, and differentiate between the categories of human rights. We'll start with the first one, which is classification of human rights. Now, there are three main classes of human rights, and they include the following. Number one, the civic and political rights, which are also known as first rights. Number two, economic and social rights, which are also known as second rights. And number three, environmental rights, which is also known as third rights. Starting from the first one, which is civic and political rights, we're going to be looking at the rights under these civic and political rights. And these rights are as follows. Number one, right to freedom from discrimination based on physical and mental disability, race, religion, gender, etc. The second one is right to vote, right to fair hearing, right to freedom of expression and publication, right to freedom of personal liberty, right to life. Then the next, which is economic and social rights, which is also known as second rights, include the following: right to own property, right to form and join any trade union of your choice, right to just and favorable condition of work, and right to fair compensation, right to free choice of employment, and right to work. Looking at the last one, which is the environmental rights, also known as third rights. And these third rights share the same attributes with the first and second rights. And these rights include right to acquire and own movable and immovable property in any part of the country, right to private and family life, right freedom of movement, freedom from slavery, right to security and protection from inhuman treatment, and lastly, right to social security. And we'll look at the difference between these categories of human rights. If you look at the board, we categorize them into two: first right and second and third right. Remember, I told you, second and third right, they share almost the same thing. From the first difference, most rights in the first right is associated with public, that is societal interest. It has to do with societal interest. While the second and third rights associate with private, personal interest. The second difference is that the first right enhances smooth conduct of election, while the second right enhances smooth conduct of trade. The third difference is that the first rights are more attention gaining, while the second rights are more of profit. Then lastly, the first rights are invisible natural rights, while the second rights are invisible artificial rights. And with this, I will leave you with this small assignment, which is to number one, mention the various categories of human rights, and secondly, state three differences between the first, second, and third categories of human rights. Thank you very much, and see you in our next meeting.